It's me. It's Grizzly Martian. How's it going? He looks a little upset today. I don't know what it is. He seemed okay when I left to work, but now I can tell something is bothering him. But whenever I ask him, he won't say anything. He just lets it all just build up inside. And I keep telling him, if you keep doing that, it's not going to end well. But, what can you do? At a certain point, you can give people guidance. You can try to offer advice and a helping hand. But at the end of the day, right? They got to figure things out for themselves. What the fuck is this? I don't know why this video is popping up on my new to you section in YouTube, but it's from 6 years ago, okay? We're gonna have to watch some of it. It's called Lies and Torture of the CIA with John Kiriakou and Jared Leto. What? Let's watch a bit. Hold on, let's restart it.
Howdy.
Hey.
Any secrets you want to tell us?
Oh, that got me 2.5 years in prison. I should probably keep my mouth shut.
What? I'm sorry, I'm not gonna... I do want to see what is happening here, but I just gotta stop it real quick and say... And this is Jared Leto's... I guess he has an official YouTube channel. What was that opening? What are they doing? And John Kiriakou looks a bit different.
What's life like as a spy?
Oh, Jared, it was so much fun. I miss it very much, actually. Got to see the world, 65 countries, recruited 9 spies over the years to work for us. It was fun.
Well, let's get this part of the story out of the way. You were actually my high school teacher.
I was indeed. I was. American government and American history.
I do remember you because every once in a while there's a teacher.
Dude. And I actually saw a post of this a little while ago. And I didn't know if it was true. But John Kiriakou was Jared Leto's teacher. Let's keep going.
Who stands out, who actually, for some reason or another, gets you to pay attention, to listen. So thank you for that.
Thank you. That's very kind of you.
It's insane, man. This is a pretty weird world to go from high school teacher to international spy.
You know, Jared, life takes these very odd twists and turns. You just never know what's in store for you.
I'm sorry. We're not gonna probably make it through this whole video if I keep doing this, but What the fuck is happening? How are you a high school teacher teaching Jared Leto of all people? And then you become a CIA spy?
That last semester that I had you in class, I went to see the professor, and he said, listen, I ought to tell you, I'm not really a professor here. I'm actually undercover as a professor. I'm a senior CIA officer. Would you be interested in joining the CIA? And I said, sure. Hadn't really thought of it, but I was getting married soon after graduation. I had no job, and I thought, well, this sounds like fun.
What in the actual fuck is happening? Is he serious? He literally just said John Kiriakou just said, I went to go talk to the professor, and he said, I'm actually not a professor. I'm an undercover CIA spy. Do you want to join the CIA?
I had no job, and I thought, well, this sounds like fun. So, next thing I know, a few months later, I was in the CIA. When I first arrived, somebody met me at the front gate, and they took me into an auditorium with about 30 other people, and I raised my right hand, and I swore to uphold the Constitution. I didn't swear to keep the agency's crimes a secret, but I swore to uphold the Constitution. And I meant it. And they put me to work on Iraq. And they said the reason I was being assigned to Iraq was that nothing ever happened there. So,
guys, what in the fuck? So, for whatever reason, the high school that Jared Leto was going to, the professor there is just an undercover CIA spy, huh? Oh.
I had been there about 9 months, and just as I begin to feel like I really know what I'm talking about, Iraq invades Kuwait. So, next thing I know, I'm going to the White House and briefing the president and taking a call at my desk from Colin Powell when he was the National Security Advisor, and then I went into Kuwait City with the Marines on Liberation Day, March 1st, 1991. I went through the whole traditional clandestine operations training. Guns, explosives, counterterrorism driving, jumping out of an airplane, swimming through a swamp to, make a dead drop on an island. You're all covered with leeches. You have to fight the cottonmouths that are swimming across the bog. It was rough, but one thing that I was really, really good at was convincing people to commit treason. Now, oftentimes they'll want money, but a lot of times it's not about the money. They want their children to go to an American university. One guy wanted a new Vespa. I mean, he was willing to commit treason for me, espionage, in exchange for a Vespa. One guy did it just because he loved the United States.
So what happened after that?
In the summer of 2000, there was an attempt on my life in Athens. There was a terrorist group there. They planned to kill me on the way to work one day, but they saw that I was in an armored car, and they knew from earlier surveillance that I was carrying a weapon. And so instead, they killed my next-door neighbor, Stephen Saunders, who was the British defense attaché. So I was deemed to be a little bit too hot, meaning too many of our enemies knew my true identity, and so I was pulled back from the Middle East, and then September 11th hit.
I love how nonchalant he just said, well, they wanted to kill me, but they knew that I was in an armored car, and I had a weapon on me, so they just killed my neighbor. He was British. And then they pulled me out because too many people knew my identity.
it was in Pakistan as the chief of counterterrorism operations that I led what became the biggest counterterrorism raid in CIA's history. We captured Abu Zubaydah, who we believed at the time was the number 3 in Al-Qaeda. We picked him up and we threw him into the back of a filthy Toyota pickup truck. And then he went to what ended up being the first CIA secret prison.
Where is he now?
He's in Guantanamo now. He's been in CIA custody for almost 14 years now. He's not been charged with a crime, I'll add.
What are they waiting for?
They can't legally charge him with a crime because everything that he ever told the CIA was as a result of torture.
Isn't it cool? This dude, we think he was top 3 in Al-Qaeda. And so we tortured him. And even before we tortured him, we knew anything he would say, we couldn't actually use any of that to charge him with anything, but we still did it. And now he's just sitting in Guantanamo Bay and has been for the past 14 years.
They began with the most entry level of the torture techniques. They would grab him by the lapels and shove him up against a plywood wall. And all that stuff is humiliating, but it's not painful in any way. But then things get very serious very quickly after that. Abu Zubaydah, for example, had an irrational fear of cockroaches. And so they would keep him in a dog cage, and they would fill the cage with cockroaches just to make him insane. They ended up waterboarding him 83 times. And even after 83 times, he gave up no actionable intelligence. He saved no American lives. He disrupted no attacks against the United States. The torture just simply doesn't work.
82 times in? Man, he hasn't given us any actual information that we could use. Try it again.
And so it was a crime with no outcome that you can show the American people actually helped anybody. And there were techniques too, Jared, that I thought were worse than waterboarding. There was something called the cold cell, where we strip a prisoner naked, you chain him to an eye bolt in the ceiling so his arms are up and he can't get comfortable. He can't kneel or sit or lay down. His cell is chilled to 50 degrees, and every hour somebody goes in and throws ice water on him. That's illegal. Okay, we killed 3 people using that technique, but no one was ever charged with a crime. I mean, the investigation found that, yep, he died. Well, sorry, too bad. It was an accident. We can't lose who we are as Americans in the name of counterterrorism. You know, we have civil liberties in this country. And I want my September 10th country back. I left the CIA in 2004. I went into the private sector. And I kept my mouth shut for 5.5 years. And in 2007, I got a call from Brian Ross at ABC News. So I went down to the ABC News studio in Washington. Brian Ross flew in from New York. And I said 3 things in that interview that utterly changed the course of the rest of my life. I said the CIA was torturing its prisoners. I said that torture was official U.S. government policy. And I said the policy was approved by and signed by the President of the United States. The CIA was very angry.
Okay. I mean, I'm going to stop it there because I'm sure he's just going to go on and say that after that, then they charged him with whatever it was that sent him to prison for years. I mean, I don't... That's all. What are we... How does any of that actually make sense? How did he actually sit there and say, I just went into the... Yes, Jared Leto, I was your high school teacher, and then I went to talk to the professor about you or something, and the professor told me he's actually secretly a CIA spy, and then he asked me to join. Here we are. So, now, most likely, right? Whatever school that was that Jared Leto was going to, I'm sure a lot of Hollywood acolytes and child entertainers or soon to be media personalities were probably going to the same school. So, why? Why do you think that at that school there would be CIA spies posing as teachers? I don't know, dude. That's so weird, huh? I can't figure it out. Seems pretty normal. I'm sure most of my teachers were actually part of the CIA as well. That's just the way it is, guys. Well, I don't know where. Nothing else to report, guys. Glad that we could see that for some reason. I'm glad it popped up. And I hope it opens all of our eyes to the reality of the world that's happening all around us. So shout out to Jared Leto, John Kiriakou, that fake professor, and 30 Seconds to Mars, dude. Hell yeah. Rock out, dude. Laurel Canyon vibes? Anybody? Okay. Grizzly Martian out. Bye.